The forest was calm. Birds sang in the distance and the morning breeze carried the smell of wildflowers. But this tranquility was shattered. From between the trees, a massive bear lumbered forward, its nose twitching, searching for food. And then it found it, the sweet scent of honey just a few steps away. Hidden in the branches above, there was a beehive, dripping with golden treasure. The bear's eyes lit up. For the beast, it was an easy meal. But what happened next would prove that even the smallest creatures could bring the biggest predator to its knees. The bear rose on its hind legs, towering against the hive. Its claws swiped at the branch, shaking the hive violently. The buzzing inside grew louder, warning the intruder, but the bear ignored it. With a final pull, the hive cracked open. Honey spilled out. The bear shoved its muzzle in, licking greedily, thinking it had won. But that victory lasted only seconds. A roar of buzzing exploded into the air. Thousands of bees poured out, a dark cloud swarming, each one defending its home with unshakable fury. The bear pulled back. Startled, it shook its head, pawing at its face, but the bees were everywhere. They stung its ears, its nose, its tender eyes. The predator stumbled backward, rolling in the dirt, trying to escape the storm of wings. But the bees did not let up. For every step the bear took, the swarm followed. The forest echoed with grunts and growls of pain. The mighty animal, strong enough to tear apart trees, was powerless against the rain of stings. It crashed into bushes, splashed through mud, even tried to hide beneath a fallen log. But the bees knew no fear. They fought with the unity that made them unstoppable. Minutes passed, the battle raging, until the bear could no longer stand the torment. Panting, its body covered in welts, the beast gave up the honey and bolted into the woods. The buzzing cloud slowed, circling the hive, then slowly returned to guard what was theirs. The forest grew quiet once more, as if nothing had happened. The hive still stood, damaged but alive, defended by the smallest of warriors. That day, the jungle whispered a lesson no one could ignore. Power does not always belong to the biggest. Sometimes the smallest, when united, can overcome the strongest. The bear thought honey would come easily, but instead it discovered the true price of underestimating those who appear weak. In the heart of the wild, where survival is a daily fight, this battle became more than just about honey. It became a story of courage, of teamwork, and of a truth that echoes even in human lives. Strength is not just in muscle, but in unity and determination. And so, as the sun set over the forest, the hive buzzed once more with life. A reminder to all who heard of the day, a bear was defeated, not by claws or fangs, but by the fearless defense of thousands of tiny hearts. And yet, despite this victory, a shadow of worry hung over the hive. The bear, though driven away, could return. And the colony knew that the beast's defeat today did not guarantee safety tomorrow. The question was, how could they, the tiny bees, defend their home from the powerful predators that lurked around? As dusk settled and the jungle sounds grew, a council buzzed within the hive. Every bee, from the youngest worker to the oldest elder, had a tale of the bear's attack. The air vibrated with the memory of stings, the fear of the bear's return, and the urgent need for a solution. Each bee knew its duty, its role in the colony, but now they needed a plan, a strategy to counter the brute force of the bear. One voice, though, cut through the murmur. It was the queen. Her stinger, usually a symbol of her role as the mother of the colony, now represented a grim possibility: sacrifice. The queen's stinger, a weapon only used in the direst of emergencies. To sting the bear meant almost certain death for her. But if she led the attack, perhaps, just perhaps, it could buy time for the others. The idea hung in the air, both terrifying and necessary. Understanding dawned in each bee's eyes. They would need more than courage. They would need a leader, one willing to risk everything for the good of the hive. The queen bee stepped forward. No words were spoken, but every bee understood. The queen's decision was unanimous. This small army of fuzzy bodies was about to take on a foe many times larger, stronger, fiercer. All they had was their unity, their unwavering commitment to their home, and now a plan that rested on the queen's shoulders. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, the bear returned. It lumbered towards the hive, its eyes gleaming with the promise of honey. But this time, the bear was not met with just the buzzing of angry bees. It faced an army. The queen led the charge, her stinger first, her wings a blur of motion as she attacked the bear's face. The bear roared, pawing at the air, trying to catch the tiny attacker, but the bees were too quick. They danced around the bear's paws, dodging its swipes, stinging its nose, ears, and any part of the bear that was not protected by thick fur. The bear stumbled, disoriented, swatting wildly. But with every swat, more bees landed, more stings registered, and the bear's fury grew. This was no longer just an attack on the hive. It was a war, and the bees, though outnumbered, were winning. But they couldn't kill the bear. Not only because its thick skin offered some protection, but because the bees had something even more valuable to protect. The hive itself. If they killed the bear, its massive bulk could crush the hive along with its own demise. So the bees fought to drive the bear away, to make it leave without destroying the hive. The bear, disoriented, confused, and overwhelmed by the relentless stings, finally did the unthinkable. It turned and ran. The bees followed, a buzzing cloud enveloping the bear, stinging it on its back, its sides, anywhere they could reach. The bear ran, crashing through bushes, leaping over logs, but the bees were faster, more determined. Then, as if the jungle itself wanted to aid the bees, a river blocked the bear's path. The bear hesitated, looking for another way out, but the bees did not give it a chance. They forced the bear into the water. The bear, heavy, wet, and exhausted, struggled to swim, but the bees were relentless. They attacked its face, its eyes, its ears, driving the bear deeper into the river. The bear, defeated, collapsed on the riverbank, whimpering, defeated not by strength, but by unity. The bees, having saved their hive, returned home, their buzzing growing softer as they shared stories of the battle, each bee's role echoing in their retelling. The queen, her stinger dulled but not broken, knew her duty was done. For now at least, she had led her colony to victory, but the memory of the bear's strength would keep her vigilant. The bees, buzzing around her, represented not just a colony, but a testament to unity, courage, and the power of the collective will. Their story, carried on the wind, was a lesson to all who heard it, a reminder that even the smallest, when united, can triumph over the greatest odds. From that day on, the bear stayed away from the hive. Word of its defeat spread through the forest, carrying with it the tale of the brave bees and their unyielding spirit. The very scent of the forest reminded the bear of the pain it had endured, of the stings that echoed in its ears, the bites that haunted its dreams. The once proud beast became a shadow of its former self, shying away from the buzzing of even a single bee. And so, the jungle resonated with the tales of the bear's defeat, a story that carried a deeper truth, a testament to unity, bravery, and the remarkable power of a community bound by a common purpose.